Hey everyone, it's Barbara Teckle. How are you? I'm just adjusting my volume here to make sure you can hear me. So today is Monday, August 3rd, and I have another oracle reading for you this week. And I just first want to share with you, I just came off a 3-day weekend virtual conference with over 3,200 people from 52 countries, people who are wanting to continue to transform their lives. And wow, it was so, I don't even know if I can find words for it, but I just feel so uplifted, so inspired, full of so much more energy, feel so much more peaceful. I'm so glad I gave myself that gift of that weekend. Um, just amazing energy. And yeah, so we got to do those things for ourselves, right? So this week, I pulled two cards. One is from the Animal Kin Oracle by Sarah Wilder, and the other card is from the Oracle of Seven Energies by Colette Baron-Reid. It's a newer deck that just came out. So I'm going to start with the Kingfisher, and here it is. Isn't this a beautiful card? And the word on the card is peace. When I looked at this card, immediately I saw hummingbird instead of kingfisher. And they look very similar with the long beak and the shorter, smaller body. And when I think of hummingbird, I'm going to go with that first because that's what came to me is, it makes me think of joy, and it makes me think of staying connected to the other side and trusting that we are being provided for. And when we can keep ourselves in that space, we can feel more peace, right? And hummingbird is very, even though I know this is kingfisher, I'm going with what was coming up for me when I first immediately saw the card, and then I'll go into a little bit more. But hummingbird for me is very significant. If some of you have read my first memoir, Through Frankie's Eyes, my little dachshund who was in a doggy wheelchair after she had passed, she it was about 2 weeks after she passed, she came to me in spirit as a hummingbird. How do I know that? Oh my goodness, it vibrated through my whole body when this little hummingbird just flew, within inches of my face, just flitted back and forth in front of my face for, it seemed like forever, but then it seemed like it was gone, like the experience was gone. But that experience has lasted with me. And so when I saw Kingfisher and immediately thought of hummingbird and looking at the word peace, it was just another reminder that when we stay connected to what we know is true and real for us, and we stay connected to that bigger source, however we define it, we do experience peace. Even though we forget and away it goes again, but then we're being reminded time and time again, and we can come back to that peaceful space. So I also made a note here on my notes is, that I really feel like the word peace on this card is a reminder that our sole purpose of being here, and this is something I really walked away with from this 3-day virtual event that I took part of, that our sole purpose is for each of us to work on what we need to heal within ourselves. And that is what will continue to bring us peace. And that peace, just by doing that, is a vibration that we're going to carry within us. And others around us are going to feel that and witness that. And they're going to know, what in the heck are you doing? And they're going to want to know, what are you doing to be more peaceful? So that's another thing that I got from just looking at this card today. And a state of peace is moment by moment, day by day, sometimes second by second, right? And a peaceful journey, it really is a journey. Like I said, sometimes we move out of that space of peace and we get caught up in the fear, but then something happens that brings us back to saying, no, I want to live in that energetic space of peace. I want to share an example with you. This is just coming into my mind now. Last week, I found myself getting caught up in the fear and feeling like, again, some of my control was being taken away from me, what's happening in the outside world, wondering where this is all leading to. And I had my process of dealing with that, and I didn't like how I felt. It was very uncomfortable. And then all of a sudden, I just, I stayed with my feelings, and then I decided to shift it. Something shifted in me. I thought, that is not where I want to put my energy. I don't want to put my energy into the fear. I want to put my energy into knowing that peace is always mine to experience if I choose. And when I stay connected to that bigger perspective and staying connected to source, to God, spirit, whatever you call it, I can experience peace even if there's chaos, the world is in chaos. So I decided to make that choice. Now I'm sure I will fall back again. but but the great thing is, the more you become aware of this and the more you stay in tune with your feelings, the quicker you can shift it. And just this week in my newsletter, I wrote about what happened to me on my walk last week. And I know maybe some of you have heard, you've got to feel it to heal it, which I believe you have to tune into your heart. You've got to feel those feelings in order to heal what is causing you pain. As I was going for a walk and I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about that experience I had where I just was not, in that state of peace, and I was in that state of fear. And I thought, oh, this thought blipped through my mind. I'm like, you've got to sift it to shift it, meaning we have to sift through all our feelings. And I kind of saw it like, a colander with the really fine holes and sand in there, and how you sift that. And the stuff that you don't need just filters out. And what you're left with is the good nuggets in there, the good nuggets of peace and wisdom that you already know within your heart. So, the other thing that I got from this card too is I was looking at the word Kingfisher, and I kind of took it apart, Kingfisher. And the word king, I thought, oh yeah, we, king or queen, we are the king or queen of our own inner dwelling. And it's up to us to take responsibility for that. That's where the peace comes. It doesn't come from something outside of us or thinking so and so is going to take care of us. We have to know that within our own being. So we are the king or queen of our own inner dwelling. And then I just looked up a little bit about the kingfisher because I don't know a lot about the kingfisher. And the kingfisher, I love this, burrows and nests in the ground. I love that because, I've had 3 dachshunds in my life. That's one of the things I loved about them, is that they love to burrow. And my last dachshund, Gidget, always loved to burrow in my arm. And that was always so comforting to me. I just loved that. So again, that's another message for us, that when we're feeling like, more control is, our perception is that more control is being taken away from us. We got to burrow in just and be with ourselves. Take a time out, whatever that time out looks like for you. For me, it's meditation. For me, it's a walk in nature. For me, it's working with my oracle cards to shift my perspective. So, oh, another thing, I was so curious as I was working with this card, and when my first thought came to me about the hummingbird, I have my door open. I'm out here in my writing cottage, and I had my door open, and I have a screen door, and I have a hummingbird feeder right outside of my door. And as I was thinking about hummingbird looking so much like Kingfisher, all of a sudden I heard the little chitter, chitter, chitter chat from the hummingbird. I'm like, okay, there's a nod from hummingbird that I'm on the right message here for everyone today. And so then I was curious, I'm following my curiosity this morning. And I thought, well, what does the kingfisher sound like? And are they somewhat related? And it's a common question. I Googled it. It's a common question that people sometimes relate the hummingbird to the kingfisher, though the kingfisher is a little bit bigger. So I found a video where I could play the sound that the kingfisher makes, and it was very, very similar. So I thought that was pretty cool. So the second card that I picked, and I'm just looking at my notes I took today, is In Perfect Harmony, and this is from the Oracle of Seven Energies. I loved this in conjunction with Kingfisher and the word peace, because when we learn to balance the inner work that we need to do for healing whatever it is we need to heal, along with taking time to play, along with taking time to be in nature, listening to our own hearts, living by the beat of our own drum, or whatever music or notes you play, whatever your song is, that is what helps us to be within harmony within ourselves. No matter what's going on in the outside world, this is really, I really feel this whole time that we're going through, and many teachers I listen to also, which is always confirmation for me of what I'm feeling. This is a time for us to really embody this, that we have to know that we are responsible for creating the peace that we wish to see. This is a common thing you hear all the time. The peace we wish to see in the world, it does. It begins with each one of us. So as things, I'm sure, are going to continue to ramp up, according to some of the astrologists I listen to as well, this is just a volatile time we are in. So the more we can stay centered with ourselves and do the inner work that we need to do individually, the better off we're going to be able to move through these times that are just changing so rapidly, right? And believe me, I need just as much work as each of you, and I continue to do my work so that I can bring you these readings and hopefully provide you hope and inspiration as well. And again, if you are struggling with things and you need some support or help, there is nothing wrong with asking for help. I'm always asking for help. I'm always working on myself, like, taking that 3-day conference. I'm here to be of service. And feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to do an oracle reading for you. Or if you're struggling things again with your pet, please feel free to reach out to me as well. I'd be happy to see if I can help you shift your perspective and bring you more peace, and help you find a better way forward. So have a great week, everyone. I am looking forward to the week. It's a little cloudy and rainy here today, but that means I'm going to hunker in and get lots of work done today, which I'm excited about. So have a great week, everyone. Take good care. Bye for now.